Have you ever woken up with a strange feeling? As if your body was whispering that something was different. Maybe it's subtle, a sudden tiredness you can't explain, or moments where you feel oddly detached from the world. What if your body, your mind, your very relationships were trying to send you a final message? Would you hear it? Would you know how to listen before it's too late? Today, we're going to talk about something heavy and important. The 10 subtle signs that your body, your spirit, and your life may be telling you your time is near. These aren't just wild guesses. Many of these are quietly backed by real studies, doctors' observations, and the lived experiences of people just like you and me. Some of these signs are physical, some are emotional, and some are spiritual. Because death doesn't always knock loudly. Sometimes, it just leaves the door ajar. So let's walk through these signs together, not with fear, but with understanding, and maybe even a little hope. The first sign might surprise you. You find yourself withdrawing from people, even those you love. Maybe you used to call your sister every Saturday, like clockwork. Now, you just don't feel like it. There's a growing sense of distance. Not anger, not sadness, just a quiet pulling away. Hospice nurses have noticed this in countless patients. As the end nears, the soul starts to prepare itself for a journey that is deeply personal. Relationships that once defined us no longer anchor us the same way. If you feel this happening or notice it in someone else, it might not be depression. It could be the soul's quiet preparation. The best advice? Stay gentle. Don't force connection, but keep offering love. The second sign often creeps up so slowly, it's almost invisible. Profound, unexplained fatigue. I'm not talking about feeling tired after a long day in the garden. I'm talking about a bone-deep exhaustion that no nap can fix. You might notice you fall asleep in the middle of conversations, or you find yourself too weary to even finish a favorite meal. This isn't laziness. It's the body conserving its remaining energy. Studies show that in the last months of life, metabolism slows dramatically. Your body is rationing its final reserves, the way a candle burns brightest before it flickers out. The key here? Listen. Let yourself rest. There's no medal for pushing through. The third sign might catch you completely off guard. Sudden bursts of clarity or energy. It sounds strange, right? Someone who has been bedridden for weeks suddenly sits up, jokes, even asks for their favorite meal. Families often call it the rally. And it's beautiful, but bittersweet. Doctors have documented these final rallies in patients with cancer, heart disease, even dementia. It's thought to be the body's last surge of adrenaline, or an emotional gift of closure. If you see this happen, don't waste time questioning it. Laugh, cry, say everything you need to say. It's a precious window, and it doesn't stay open long. The fourth sign is more physical, but just as subtle. Changes in breathing patterns. It may start as soft, irregular breaths, then long pauses between breaths. There's a name for it. Cheyne-Stokes breathing. The body's systems begin slowing down, like a symphony reaching its final notes. You might notice a rattling sound called the death rattle. It's just the body's way of handling secretions when swallowing slows. While it sounds frightening, it's not painful. If you hear these changes, know that it's natural. The best thing you can offer is comfort, soft music, cool cloths, and your steady presence. Our fifth sign touches something even deeper than the body. A sudden peace or acceptance. People who spent their lives fearing death sometimes, remarkably, lose that fear near the end. It's as if a heavy burden has been lifted. Hospice workers say it over and over, that even the most anxious people find a surprising calm in their final weeks or days. Neurologists suggest that the brain may release chemicals, serotonin, dopamine, that create this sense of profound peace. But perhaps it's something greater. If you or a loved one begins to express a feeling of readiness, listen. Honor it. There's a grace in letting go. The sixth sign often shows up in small, almost imperceptible ways. Decreased appetite and thirst. Food no longer smells delicious. Favorite dishes sit untouched. Even water becomes less appealing. This isn't cause for alarm. It's the body signaling that it no longer needs fuel for a journey it's almost completed. Trying to force food or drink often only causes discomfort. Instead, offer small sips, favorite tastes, or just a cool cloth on dry lips. The real nourishment now is love. The seventh sign brings us to something both beautiful and mysterious. Visions, dreams, and visits. Countless people report seeing departed loved ones, hearing music, or sensing bright, warm light near the end. Skeptics call it hallucination. Believers call it the thinning of the veil. Hospice surveys show that these visions are almost universally comforting, not frightening. One elderly woman, moments before passing, smiled and whispered, "They're all here." Another described seeing her late husband reaching for her hand. Whether you believe in an afterlife or not, these experiences are deeply real for the person experiencing them. If someone shares a vision with you, believe them. It might just be the most honest thing they've ever seen. The eighth sign often hides in plain sight, changes in skin color and temperature. Have you ever noticed someone's hands or feet turning pale, bluish, or blotchy? It's called mottling. The circulation slows as the heart works less efficiently. Blood flow retreats from the extremities to preserve the vital organs just a little longer. The skin can feel cooler or strangely damp, like a summer fog rolling in. In the final hours, you might even see a deepening purple or gray tone in the knees, feet, and hands. It's the body's natural way of conserving energy, shifting focus inward. If you notice this in yourself or someone else, it's not a sign to panic. Instead, focus on offering warmth, a soft blanket, a gentle touch, a whispered "I'm here." That's the medicine needed now. The ninth sign touches something deeper than organs and blood. It's when time itself begins to shift. People close to death often lose track of day and night. Conversations might drift between the present and the past, or even the imaginary. We might hear someone speak of getting ready for a journey, packing bags, or catching a train. They might call out to someone who's already gone. It's easy to dismiss these moments as confusion or delirium, but often they're symbolic. The brain, and perhaps the soul, is preparing for a transition that words can only hint at. Rather than correcting or grounding them, the kindest thing you can do is join them. If Grandma says she's waiting for her ticket, smile and say, "It must be a beautiful place you're going." Meet them where they are. That's love at its purest. And now, the 10th and final sign, a deep, unexplainable knowing. Some people, days or even hours before they pass, simply know. They might say things like, "I'm going home," or "I'll see you soon," even if no medical crisis seems imminent. A neighbor of mine, a lively 78-year-old named Margaret, spent her last morning polishing her favorite necklace and writing short notes to each of her grandchildren. She wasn't sick, but that afternoon, peacefully and without struggle, she passed in her garden, her hands resting on the soil she loved. Scientists don't fully understand this knowing. Is it an ancient instinct? A spiritual awareness? Whatever it is, it's real. If someone you love says their goodbyes, listen. Don't brush it off with, "Oh, you'll be fine." Hold their hand. Tell them everything you want them to know. Those conversations become treasures you'll carry forever. Now, having heard these 10 signs, you might feel a heavy lump in your throat, maybe even a tear slipping free. And that's okay. Talking about death isn't easy, because talking about death is really talking about life. It's about all the hugs you gave, and all the ones you still can, all the stories you told, and all the ones waiting in your heart. It's about choosing to live these days, however many we have, with more kindness, more wonder, and less fear. You see, knowing these signs isn't about giving up. It's about recognizing the sacredness of every moment. It's about being awake enough to say, "I love you," before the window closes. It's about forgiving the petty hurts, laughing at the ridiculous things, and noticing the color of the sunset one last beautiful time. And maybe most of all, it's about realizing that dying, like living, can be full of grace. If you're seeing any of these signs in someone you love, or even quietly in yourself, remember this. This isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of something beyond words. Your life, your love, your memories. They ripple out far beyond one final breath. So take a moment today. Call that old friend you've been meaning to. Take the walk, even if it's slow. Say the thing you're afraid to say, whether it's "I'm sorry" or "You mattered to me." Because life, real life, is happening now. And if you're still breathing, no matter how heavy or soft, you're still part of the miracle. You still have a role to play. Before we go, if this message touched your heart, please consider giving it a like, sharing it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribing to this channel. Your support helps us bring more wisdom, comfort, and light into a world that desperately needs it. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever witnessed any of these signs in a loved one, or felt them yourself? Your stories are precious, and they help us all feel less alone. Until next time, stay gentle with yourself. Stay curious, and remember, even in the face of endings, love never dies. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening with an open heart. You are not alone, and you never will be.